Casino Scottish Grand National. A cheer from the crowd. Marlborough the last to step away. Mick Fitzgerald in no hurry early. Last year's winner Young Kenny right up with the pace under Brendan Powell, with Birkdale the grey Master Kid on the inside, and Ambleside is close too as they approach the first of 27 fences, and they all land safely with Monte Cresta the back marker. It's now Master Kit up the inside of Ambleside, then Birkdale and Young Kenny, and Lord of the West is close. Brow Joshy towards the inside as they clear the second fence. A slight mistake by Noble Lord back in the field. On now towards an open ditch. Young Kenny in the hoop sleeve jacket towards the centre of the track. On the right on the rail, Master Kit. Ambleside between the pair. Then Scott and Green out, and Cavallero has unseated Alex Charles Jones there. Cavallero departs at the third, and meanwhile onto the fourth. Master Kit is over this one, and a bad mistake at that by Spendid, who gave it a right clout under Richard Johnson, who had to sit tight. On now to the fifth, Master Kit and Young Kenny, with Scott and Green on the outside, the yellow jacket. Ambleside is next, then Birkdale on the inside as they clear this one safely. Lord of the West then from Paris Pike towards the outside. Spendid is there, then Brow Joshy towards the inner. Sam Lee and Monte Cresta. Back then to another excuse, Moondigua towards the inner, followed by Noble Lord. Marlborough is three from the end, the back two, Poor Skin and Silla's Stalker. The next fence comes up quickly after that turn, and it's Master Kit from Young Kenny, then Ambleside and Scott and Green as they land over that one. Behind Scott and Green, Lord of the West in the yellow jacket. Brow Joshy on the far rail. Sam Lee is pulling hard, tanking along in about sixth place from Spendid as they clear the next. And then behind these was Noble Lord. As we check the starting prices, joint favourites on the off, Paris Pike, who's midfield, black jacket the outside, horse with a white face, about 8 lengths off the pace at the moment. The other joint favourite, Marlborough, towards the inside. They're both roughly at around the same place in the field. Approaching the next then, this is number 9, and still 2 circuits to go, and it's Master Kit from Young Kenny in second, Sam Lee into third, then Ambleside. Birkdale the grey on the inside from Scott and Green, and Paris Pike is out wide as Spendid. Then Lord of the West and Moondigua and Monte Cresta from Noble Lord. A gap then to Marlborough. After Marlborough, another excuse, and Brow Joshy has lost his position, and the back two remain, Poor Skin and Silla's Stalker, with just the one departure so far, and that was Cavallero at the third fence. So they run into the back straight once again, where 5 fences await them, and Young Kenny under Brendan Powell on the outside goes up again to dispute the running, with Ambleside and Master Kit on the inside. Scott and Green, then Spendid on their heels despite an early mistake. Sam Lee is running a good race. Out wide, Paris Pike is much closer now as they approach the first in the back straight, at which Young Kenny was first to rise only fractionally. Ambleside a good jump. Sam Lee is tanking his way up the inside in the headgear, and then Master Kit back on the inside, just losing a place or two as they clear the next. Paris Pike very handy out wide. Mistake at the back by Poor Skin, who's won from last with only Silla's Stalker behind him. Another excuse gets a reminder or two. The rider in a blue cap in midfield. Over the next, at which it was Sam Lee, and a faller there was Lord of the West. Lord of the West, and Poor Skin has unseated the rider, trying to avoid the stricken horse. Brow Joshy did well to avoid that horse as well, but has lost his position quite badly, as meanwhile up with the leaders it's Young Kenny and Sam Lee in the red sleeve jacket, Scott and Green in the yellow, Paris Pike in black in fourth, then Spendid from Ambleside. These are followed by another excuse, and then this group are chased by Monte Cresta as they turn away left-handed again downhill out of the back straight and on towards the next 4 fences up the straight. The next will be number 15, and it's Sam Lee, a national regular over the years, has been placed at Aintree in the past. Barry Fenton in the saddle from Young Kenny. Paris Pike on the outside, then Scott and Green from Spendid. Over on the inside is Ambleside next, Birkdale the grey from Monte Cresta, then Marlborough, just beginning to get a little bit closer, Mick Fitz on Marlborough as they jump the next, and the leaders take it safely, with on the inside Moondigua trying to get a bit closer. Blue and orange jacket, Master Kit is well tailed off now as they approach the next open ditch, and it was Sam Lee joined on the outside by Paris Pike. Then in third is Young Kenny, Moondiga on the inside improves, then Spendid. Out deep is Scott and Green from Marlborough and Ambleside as they take what will be the last after one more circuit of the track. Towards the rear, Noble Lord, Monte Cresta, Birkdale's lost places. Well adrift at the present is Another Excuse and Master Kit, and tailed right off Silla's Stalker. Up front it's Paris Pike, one of the joint favourites, leading. John Frankham Alistair down. Can he stay in front?
Well, he's going well enough, Simon, at the moment, but nothing's been travelling better throughout the race than Marlborough, with Mick Fitzgerald just smuggling round in about 6th or 7th. Ambleside begins to come to the end of his tether. Moondiga, who was showing up well there, now coming under pressure. John, what do you think's going best?
Well, Paris Pike travelling particularly well, but so is Marlborough, and it's so important to get horses jumping on this ground when it's fast, and they don't mind it for the first half a mile, some of these soft ground horses, but the ones in the race now, the ones that really don't mind putting their foot down on it, Paris Pike looks to be absolutely loving it, but as I said, so does Marlborough in behind.
Yes, Paris Pike has got a lovely rhythm in front. They've got 8 fences left to jump, and it's Paris Pike from Young Kenny on the outside, running another good race here at Ayr as they landed over that one. Scott and Green chases in third. Sam Lee is now feeling the pinch as Birkdale pulls up. The ground was too quick for him, as his trainer feared, as they now run on towards another open ditch, and it's Paris Pike from Young Kenny in second. Over in third, Noble Lord improving. Scott and Green gets a reminder. Then Spendid. He's yet to twitch on Marlborough, back in 6th place. Waiting. Young Kenny made a mistake there. Behind the front 6 are Ambleside, and then Sam Lee, who seems to have lost his action as they run towards the last fence in the back straight. And this is the 5th from home, and it's Paris Pike from Young Kenny. Noble Lord over in third. And then in behind these, Marlborough is now trying to pick up these leaders as they swing left-handed away from the back straight. They've got 4 fences left to jump, and it's Paris Pike, Young Kenny, Noble Lord, Spendid. But look at Marlborough in 5th place, the winner at the Cheltenham Festival under Mick Fitzgerald. He's riding another confident race. He seems to have plenty of horse under him, but will the horse stay? This is 4 out. Paris Pike lands in front by 2 lengths. Marlborough wasn't too quick at that, and it's now shaken up. Young Kenny on the outside second. Noble Lord running a big race. Marlborough goes into 4th, then Spendid down towards the 3rd last, and it's Paris Pike and Adrian Maguire. Another mistake by Marlborough there. Perhaps he's getting a bit leg weary, but Paris Pike is still staying on strongly in front with 2 fences left to go. The final open ditch, and Paris Pike another great jump. Oh, Marlborough's jumping's fallen apart. Noble Lord second, Young Kenny third, then Marlborough, Spendid, and it's Paris Pike running on relentlessly in the lead under Adrian Maguire. 6 lengths clear over the last. Noble Lord chasing in second, then last year's winner Young Kenny, a gap to Spendid, and then Marlborough, and Paris Pike, this progressive young chaser, kept going in front to win the Scottish National. Noble Lord in second, in third Young Kenny, a great run again. 4th home was Spendid, followed by Ambleside. Marlborough practically pulled up on the run-in. Scott and Green was just about the last to finish. One that pulled up was Another Excuse, and the others pulled up at different places round the track. I'm afraid it looked as though Sam Lee was injured during the race. But Paris Pike, this 8-year-old in the colours of Ivan Straker, has put up a tremendous performance here, always going well for Adrian Maguire, trained by Ferdy Murphy. His 5th win from 6 starts over fences, and rising up the handicap throughout the season, and only 6 runs over fences, but he jumps like an old hand. He never put a foot wrong here. In front, a long way from home, certainly a circuit from the finish, and he stayed there right to the bitter end.
Paris Pike, a 6-to-1 chance with the sponsors when betting opened earlier in the week. It was a 4-to-1 chance with Victor Chandra in the offices this morning. Coral only went 11-4. Return, the easy to back here, 5-to-1, joint favourite Paris Pike, and touched 11-2 here on the course. The runner-up, the Noble Lord, sent off at a pony, 25-1. The third, So Brave in defeat, last year's winner Young Kenny, a 10-1 5th favourite, with Spendid 4th, sent off at 12-1. And that Paris Pike is just the 5th successful favourite in the Scottish National since 1935. The others here have been Young Kenny here, and also Red Rum in 74, Fincham in 1960, and What No Sun in 1949. So in all those years, just 5 successful favourites and a lot of punters, especially anti-post, were on this Paris Pike, who wins at 5-1 and gives Adrian Maguire his second Scottish Grand National. He won it on Baronet 2 years ago, raising his whip in triumph. Fantastic win for Paris Pike, and this horse, surely the future unlimited, where this horse could well go to the very top.
Well.